So the new parts have arrived, including the part tree with the brackets on, and these very nice looking shocks, and I shall be installing the front ones first. So I've put some oil in them, and I've started off with Tamiya soft oil, and we'll see how we go with that. And I've installed the front shocks, which went with no problems whatsoever, and I think look very nice. And the colour especially complements the wheels. Next I put the bearings into the axial assembly, and then the gears, followed by the diff. And then I screwed that all together and installed the motor and the wheelie bar, and that all went absolutely great as well. Now this was the assembly for mounting the gearbox stroke axle onto the chassis, and the metal bar slid through here, and then the ends located into the brackets here. The previous owner cut down the brackets because he wanted to revert the car back to the original Pajero wheelie which he had as a child. However, on one of the part trees the original style brackets are actually included, so I've decided to try these first. So I've greased up the insides of the brackets and also on the ends of the gearbox housing, and this doesn't use the metal bar. And here it is installed, and this is when I came across my first hiccup. On the end of the gearbox stroke axle housing there's a piece of plastic that protrudes out, and this acts as a stopper when it hits against the block that's actually moulded into the chassis. So when I put on the brackets for the rear shocks and added the ball ends, I realised that this had limited the gap, so I couldn't actually fit the shocks. So I used the Dremel and cut off the tab, and now I've got plenty of travel. And this is when I came across my second problem. The holes in the rod ends on the Trackstar shocks are actually too big for the brass balls on the brackets. So what I've done is use the Tamiya shock ends that were included on one of the part trees I bought. Now this was a bit of a fiddly job. I had to compress the spring to the top of the shock and then grip the metal shaft with a pair of pliers, and then the shock cap self-taps when you screw it on. But I got them both done, and here they are installed onto the chassis. This is the previous owner's photograph of how it was before, and this is how it is now. So now it's just a case of fitting the wheels and putting the body back on. Due to the bad weather outside, I'll be doing a run video indoors, and I won't have the body on just in case I've done something wrong when putting it back together. Yep, I think that's working okay. I'll end the video with some photos of the finished Pajero. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.